Hello, brothers and sisters. A warm welcome to Investigate. I'm Avatar Lahiru, your guide in this series. Nice to see you again. Today, let us look at our fifth and last substantive topic of the first chapter of the curriculum on the economic environment, which is on fiscal policy. When we talk about the government, what usually comes to your mind? Perhaps about laws, regulations, policies, and taxes. However, in the context of the economy, when we talk about how the government manages the economy, one of the strongest tools it uses is fiscal policy. Okay, what exactly is fiscal policy? Fiscal policy is about how the government raises money, mainly through taxes and other revenue, and how it spends that money on services and development. So, how does the government organize and execute the fiscal policy? Every year, the government has to prepare a budget for that year and get it approved by the parliament. The budget explains which services and projects will be funded, how much money will be needed, and whether it will be covered by government revenue or by borrowing. Keep in mind that if government revenue is greater than spending, we say that the government runs a budget surplus. If government spending is greater than revenue, we say that there is a budget deficit, which is financed through borrowing. Did you ever think the government can borrow and owe money to someone? Yes, it can. When the government borrows, it creates public debt, and public debt is passed on to the people as it is their responsibility. Therefore, public debt needs to be managed carefully. Usually this debt can be raised by issuing treasury bills and bonds to investors, on which we will learn about in detail in the next chapter on the financial economy, or by borrowing from international agencies such as the IMF and World Bank, or from other countries, either individually or as groups of lenders. Those who purchase government securities, both local and international, expect regular interest payments and repayment of the principal at maturity. So where does most of the government's revenue come from? Guess what? Mainly from taxes. What is a tax? A tax is a compulsory payment charged by the government on individuals and businesses. In Sri Lanka, the main types of taxes include 1. Personal income tax on wages, salaries, bonuses, interest, dividends, rent, and other income. 2. Corporate income tax on the profits of businesses. 3. Value-added tax, VAT, an indirect tax on goods and services at each stage of production and consumption. Sometimes taxes are deducted at the time of payment and sent directly to the government. This is called a withholding tax. For example, banks deduct tax on interest you earn, companies deduct tax on dividends, and employers deduct income tax from salaries under the pay-as-you-earn (PAYE) system. Withholding tax helps ensure regular collection, improves compliance, and reduces evasion by taxing income at the source. Similarly, it is important to understand that taxes are not only about funding government expenses and burdening taxpayers. Believe it or not, taxes also serve wider purposes that benefit the public. Economists describe these as 4 R's of taxation. 1. Revenue, collecting funds to pay for salaries of public servants, healthcare, education, roads, and social safety nets. 2. Redistribution, reducing inequality by transferring wealth from higher earners to support the poor and vulnerable. 3. Repricing, discouraging harmful consumption. For example, excise taxes on alcohol, tobacco, and fuel, and encouraging positive behaviors like saving, investing, or adopting green energy. 4. Representation. When citizens pay taxes, they demand more accountability and transparency from the government, strengthening democracy. The central bank also highlights that taxation can support development goals, encouraging SMEs through concessionary tax rates, promoting savings and capital formation through tax benefits, and even promoting regional development with tax incentives in rural areas. And finally, why does this matter to us? Let us see, for example, if VAT rises, our grocery bills increase immediately. If more of the budget is allocated to schools and hospitals, children and parents benefit directly. If government borrowing becomes too high, interest rates may rise, making our housing loan installments heavier. So fiscal policy, through revenue, taxes, spending, and debt, is how the government steers the economy. It directly shapes the cost of living, the quality of public services, and the opportunities we all depend on. Alrighty then, congratulations are in order. As with this, we've completed Chapter 1, the economic environment. Next, we move to Chapter 2, the financial environment, where we'll see how money flows through markets and institutions in our daily lives. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video.